the last episode, I finished repairing the thrown track on my mini excavator by mounting a new one. I also decided it was time to send the mini off for some other repairs that were a little beyond my pay grade. With the movable firewood storage box area project on pause, I decided it was time to pivot and actually build one of these storage boxes. So I had never seen what I'm wanting to build. I had to do a little design work. And here's what I came up with. On the bottom is going to be 3 4x4s. The end ones are going to be a little bit longer so I can set one box on top of another. And on top of that, I'm going to put 3 beefy 2x12s and bolt those down. That'll give me a nice sturdy foundation that I think will support the firewood, and the 4x4s will provide a nice gap that I can fit the tractor forks under to be able to pick the whole box up. On top of that, I'm simply going to build a box frame out of 2x4s. I'm pretty sure that's going to be more than sturdy enough to hold the firewood in, and I'm also pretty sure it's going to be sturdy enough to be able to put one box on top of another without it collapsing.
I decided to build this wood storage box with no treated wood and no glue, only using natural wood and screws so that when the box finally fails, I can actually just unscrew it, cut it up, and use it as firewood. And I don't expect this box to last all that long. I think I'll be lucky to get 5 years out of it, and it would be a real miracle if I got 10 years out of it, especially with all the strain it's going to be under, full of wood and getting heaved around by the tractor. It's kind of weird, actually, to be putting this much work, this much construction work, into something that feels kind of temporary. It has me think of the Tibetan sand mandalas I've seen, where the monks will spend days carefully crafting these beautiful pieces of art out of colored sand, and then when it's over, they just sweep it up. So they start knowing that it's temporary, that it's not going to last. And that's what this project feels like to me. And then I look around at a lot of the work that I've done here, the things I've built, the bow roof shed, and even the Yom, the building that I'm living in. I really don't expect those to outlast me either. They do feel very temporary. I think it would be a real miracle if either of those buildings was functional and standing in 20 years, and I sure hope to still be living in 20 years. So I started thinking, my God, my entire life that I've constructed for myself out here is like one giant mandala. I mean, there's absolutely a part of me that knows that everything that I've done is not going to last, that it's temporary. I've never had that experience when I lived in any kind of modern home. It always felt much more permanent. I mean, that's an illusion. I'm sure, a couple of centuries or a couple of thousand years and all the buildings that humans have built are going to come down. But it was sturdy enough, that it created the illusion of permanence. But that's not so out here. I know it. My body knows it. And I feel my own impermanence more because of it. Which is, at the same time, it's a little unsettling, but it's also, in a way that's kind of hard for me to explain, very enlivening. Like I just feel so much more connected to reality because I can feel in my body how impermanent everything is. And it became so much easier to feel that impermanence because of the way I've constructed all of this impermanence around me that's helping me survive right now.
The base for the movable firewood storage box turned out just the way I designed it. On the good side, it looks pretty sturdy. I'm pretty sure it's going to be able to handle any firewood I put in it. On the bad side, it's very heavy. which is a concern because the heavier the box itself is, the less firewood I'm going to be able to put in it, and the less likely the tractor is going to be able to pick the whole thing up. So hopefully I haven't overdone it. I do tend to over-engineer things. In the next video, I'll finish out the frame for the box, and I'll cut up some firewood and put it in there, and we'll see if I can lift it with the tractor and if this thing actually holds together.